What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Y'all, we have to do it. Shout out to Hood Horrors, YouTube channel Hood Horrors. Fantastic content creator who showed the last episode of his series on Nature Boy and Carbonation, the cult. Y'all, it is imperative that we continue out reviewing the series here because you have so many content creator, influencers, just thunkheads in general, thinking that they're somehow the second coming of Christ or God or, becoming cult leaders and behaving in a way to where it's becoming dangerous. People are being cyber harassed and bullied and stalked and doxxed, you know, on social media. You can't even just come here on social media and just have a thought anymore because of this cult-like personality that's running rampant. And it's getting to a point where people are not able to enjoy, you know, the content here on YouTube. Now, me as a content creator, I understand I have to have a backbone, right? I have to have a backbone for all of the Lady Luck Club, for us Lucksters. Because it seems like that's what you guys voted, the majority for us to be called. So we're the Lucksters here in the LLC. But it doesn't fare well on everyone. Take, for instance, the video that I posted up in the post yesterday on the channel regarding Kenny Lattimore and his wife, who's a judge. And so they had to file a lawsuit. And turns out there were whole social media accounts on YouTube that were being created from Pakistan where they were lying about Kenny Lattimore and his wife and his marriage and everything in between, and didn't even care that she knew the law, because she who knows law has power. So they sued. They found out exactly who the person was that was creating all of these social media accounts, and they ended up tracking them back to Pakistan. It's crazy. And so once they realized and was able to discover who they were able to sue them. And then, of course, YouTube has these, policies where you have to submit court documents to show that you're being, harassed to the point where you've had to go and get some sort of legal recourse or resolution from the court of law. And then they finally decide, oh, okay, we're going to take down all these channels. But they had been targeted for so long, it was affecting their personal life because their own family were calling them, hey, y'all okay? We saw all these videos here on YouTube. That's the power of the influence of social media. And so when you have content creators like Candace Owens sitting here saying, no one should trust the FBI or the CIA now, or that the U.S. military is involved in a civilian death that we all witnessed, you end up influencing millions of followers. And the candy asses can't help themselves. And of course, they're going to hop into everybody's videos talking about you're being paid by a country that I've never personally been to myself. Because that is the influence and the power you have on social media. And when people are not taking, control of their platform in a way to where they can maintain some sort of integrity and dignity, now you end up with a Kenny Lattimore situation where they have to now hound down someone just to sue them. And they found them. They were in Pakistan. Yeah, you can't make this up. So we're checking out Nature Boy because the cult-like mentality and just the rise of these cults on social media is getting out of control. It's like an epidemic. So we want to address it. I want you all to know what it looks like, know the signs, and understand why when it comes down to it, whenever I talk about certain, content, like with yesterday, I did a live stream on Umar and on Candace Owens. And yeah, the candy asses are in full effect. in full effect. They're trying to, oh, she's rich. They say the same thing over and over again. Oh, she's so rich. She's wealthy. Her husband's wealthy. So what? None of their money affects my life and my household. But see, that's the best that they could come back with. It shows how pathetic they are. That is the best comeback they can hit. You either paid by Israel or they're reminding us of how wealthy Candace Owens is, because she gets all of these candy asses giving her their hard-earned money. And only to spew out nonsense that she can't even back up with proof and evidence to show that, oh, Brigitte Macron was actually born a man and here's the scientific evidence. No, she can't do that. Too much like right. So now y'all see why I tell them to kick rocks and laugh at them. You can't take that stuff seriously. You just can't. But when it gets to a point where they start doxing and the cyber harassment and the bullying, yeah, no. Then you take action and they want to get mad when they get dragged through court. You brought this on yourself. You keep doing this on social media where everything's recorded. Yeah, everything's recorded. So shout out to all the candy asses that still think somehow everyone is being paid by Israel. Israel owe me a whole lot of money if you let them tell it. What's going on, Soul and Pleasure? What's happening, Miss Independent? Hey, all and all. Everybody speak to everybody. Y'all hit that like button coming in. We're going to get started. We have our live stream we're doing at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Uncle Mo TV. Finally, the Danza Project has posted the full interview with Umar and the Umar Tardians, and it was just something else. So we're going to be checking that out in our 5 p.m. Show with Uncle Mo TV, checking out the interview, the full interview that Umar did with the Danza Project. So you guys make sure you tune in for that. So we're not going to be long here. We're only going to catch 2 episodes of this. These type of people, it's all a hustle. Exactly. What's going on, Ralph Mars? Just what's up? Hey everyone. How's everyone? Generally, they have an affiliation to prison and see cult leader as a legit transition to money, to get money and control. Exactly. And I mean, to have people just do whatever they say, not pay attention to what they're doing or not doing, and blindly give them money. Because Candace Owens, yes, does have a lot of money, but a lot of that money comes from the candy asses that keep buying her merch. They give her the cash apps, they give her the supers, they give her all this stuff. So they're making her rich just for her to keep peddling nonsense. It's so stupid. But can't tell grown folks what to do with their money, I guess. But it's funny how they keep saying I have money from Israel, but they don't see anything wrong with them giving her their hard-earned money for her to still not show any scientific proof that Brigitte Macron is a man. Yeah, I guess you get what you pay for. What exactly are people looking for in others that they can't find in themselves? If I had to answer that question, I would say soul. People lack integrity and dignity. We all make mistakes, but you think Candace Owens would just come out and say, "Can you all police not go after these people, Phil Lyman and Josh Hammers, and can we not go after them? We have no evidence to prove they did something." They want exactly stolen pleasure. They want validation. They want to feel like they belong, and it's so easy to get caught up in a cult because you want to feel like you belong to something. And so that's what we're going to see here in these 2 episodes, you guys. And there are 46 episodes total that Hood Horrors has done on Nature Boy and Carbonation. That is how thorough this series is, and well researched, and it's just well put together, and I enjoy it. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to make sure I get everybody in here. Y'all say hello to each other. Hit the like button if you don't mind for me. Please, and drop a heart in the chat once you've done that. And what's going on, Enrique? Says good morning, everyone. I want to make sure I get to you guys' comments, silly statements. Yeah, it's people just throw out all kinds of weird, weird statements and stuff. Hello from Israel. Well, hello then. How you doing? How's it going? Is it Sunday over there? Still Sunday? I know you guys are some hours ahead of us. I speak to everybody. Everybody speak to everybody. Y'all ready? We're about to hit it. So this is going to be the rise and fall of Nature Boy Eligio Bishop. I've named AKA the Cult of Atlanta because they're in Atlanta, Georgia, where they were until he got arrested. Now he's in prison for the rest of his life plus 10 years. And we're going to be checking out episodes 15 and 16. All right. So put a 1 in the chat when you can see and hear. Let's get to it.
Previously on the rise and fall of Nature Boy and Carbonation.
I'ma drop her off right there, bro. I'ma drop her. Where y'all want me to drop her off at? I'ma drop her off right there. Let me know. What's going on?
Take her to the embassy. Just bring her and drop her off. I got her from there.
Okay.
Drop her off. I got her from there. They already know she's coming. They're waiting for her.
Oh, that's what it is. Let's go.
Well,
where are you going? Where else do you have to go? Go with your Babylon pops. Where else do you have to go? That's where you're headed. So you can't say you're not going over there because that's where you're headed. You have a whole entire baby strapped on you right now. That makes no sense. You can't go out there and do anything on your own.
Look, man, like I said, man,
This is where you put yourself here, so now this is where you're going. Where else you gonna go?
But he got on live and said, take her to the embassy. They already know she on the way. They already know she on the way. Take her to the embassy. I said, okay. He said, he got on live just now and said, take her to the embassy. They already know she on the way. That's what he just got on the live and said. What'd he say? What she said?
She's not going anywhere with anybody.
And she must be about to get her mind right. And she must about to be apologizing to me for walking off of my mother's face.
he didn't care about anything but his pride and ego.
What is she doing? What are you doing? She hurting a child?
She's trying to strap that thing on her own, and that is not safe because if she can't get it, what I'm doing.
Let her do it. She thinks she know what she's doing. Where's you going? So wait, hold on. You got a passport. You got your passport in your hand. You got a dress on, no shoes. Hold up. What I say, y'all? Listen, you're wrong. You got a passport in your hand. You got my baby in a little wrap. No clothes on. You got no clothes on yourself, no shoes, and you just gonna go walk.
I'm not just gonna go walk. Where you going?
What are you about to do?
Just leave me alone.
No, I can't. Obviously, you don't care. Look, get back, bro. Back up, bro. Don't make me. Oh, come on, man. What is you doing, bro? You ain't got to be here. Let's make the measurements. Let's make the measurements correctly. This is my daughter. I still care about you and my daughter, no matter what your emotions are. You gonna put some clothes on my child. All right, well, we gonna get the clothes. You gonna get in the van, and we gonna drop you by the U.S. Embassy. Where you going? Where you going with my child? You about to take my child from me. Where you going? This is my daughter. This little girl won't have a father in your life because of your emotional decisions. Because of your emotional decisions, she won't even have a chance to have a father in her life.
We would call them generational curses. So he would say stuff like, you don't want to take your daughter away from her father because that happened to you. And he would use my childhood traumas to guilt trip me.
You gonna raise her in a split home? Perpetuate the same shit over and over, just like your mama? Or you gonna be like your dad? Keep her away from me. You knew I was polygamous before we got pregnant. Okay, right though. Let me get this right. So you knew I was polygamous before this.
I'm not forcing myself to do it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but you upset right now.
I'm just jealous. Don't be like that. Get over here. Get over here. Come on.
Me getting pregnant was his way of trapping me. I didn't have my daughter's citizenship. And I couldn't, at the time, pass my citizenship down to her because I didn't have the proper connections to prove my 5-year of residency.
We gotta get a passport, baby. We gotta get her passport. She's born in Mexico. You say you ain't f***ing with your dad. Okay, you not f***ing with your dad. I know why. He ain't nothing but a big ass demon. I get it. I understand why you don't want to f*** with me. don't want to be in a polygamous relationship no more. All right, I understand that. What we gonna do then? Let's think. You watched Maisha take Osiris from me, didn't you, baby? You watched her take it from me. You felt that pain I felt, didn't you? And why would you do that to me?
He can tell.
So this is the master manipulation of it all, right? He literally forced her to have the baby in Mexico when her father was begging and pleading for her to, one, talk to him, two, have the baby in the US, and then go back to Mexico so at least the baby would have been a US citizen. Now, when she's wanting to leave, she's having problems getting a passport or a visa for the baby. When the father said, this is what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid you going through all of this. This is why I wanted you to have the baby in the US. Let her be a citizen. Therefore, if anything happens, and let's say you decide you want to just keep running off with this stupid code, you can bring me the baby, and your mother and I will raise the baby. At least she'll be a US citizen. This girl did not listen to her own father. But she listening to this stunkhead she's not legally married to. And now he's trying to weaponize generational curses and how, oh, your father wants to keep you from me and keep the baby from me. And you're trying to perpetuate that. And he's a demon. Everybody, when it comes to these cult leaders, anytime you say something they don't like, you're a demon. You're the op. You're the enemy. You're attacking them. You're hating on them. Oh, hate. They can't handle just simple truth. She doesn't want to be there. She wants to just take a walk or wherever she's trying to go. As you all can see, she can't freely do that. He's not even letting her leave the house for a minute. And then she has the other so-called fake wives ganging up on her, and she's vulnerable with this newborn baby. So if they were to start attacking her, she really wouldn't be able to defend herself because it's like 5 or 6 of them plus him versus her and this newborn with no clothes on. This is outrageous. This is what cults are like. This is a cult here. This is how bad it could get. I mean, even just the mental and psychological abuse of it. This is what's happening in real time, people.
Who's down for him, who will do anything for him. He can sense those in those people. You know how to test his limits to see, are you going to be there till the end, no matter what?
You gotta overcome your shit. Either way,
Yeah, he
whether you
was
hear it or not, you're gonna have to overcome it.
I don't gotta be with nobody.
You don't gotta be with nobody, but you're gonna have to overcome that shit you're doing. Your situation has made it so difficult for you to leave that it only behooves you to work it out where you at. A set of whip-making situations.
I don't want to be with no women. I don't want to be.
It's not about you.
I'm not happy. I don't.
Stop. Be quiet. I don't ever want to hear you say that shit again. Don't
He's trying to
disrespect.
get her to stop saying that she's not happy.
Don't say that shit again.
So he's taking everything she says as a disrespect to him because he doesn't want her to leave and he wants her to do what he wants her to do. He wants this polygamous nonsense and to be able to just have multiple women at his side. And he wants everybody to be okay with it. And when she's not okay with it, this is how he treats her. Oh, you're disrespecting me. No, I don't have to do what you want. But that's how cult leaders think. All of them think that way. Umar is the same way with Umar Tardians. You say something, why are you all saying this? It's disrespectful. No, it's not. It's the truth. Do your own research. Okay, we got research. We got documentation. Well, now you're obsessed. They go from one dumb thing to another dumb thing because they're not using the brain God gave a billy goat. It's a cult-like mentality. If you're saying anything outside of the hive mentality, then you're disrespecting them.
Take your hand off your face.
I think she's 19 or 20. She had to be about 19 or 20.
You belong to me. You're my woman.
You
Do
belong
what
to
I
me.
tell you to do.
Oh my God.
You're my woman. You submit to me. You're mine.
Eliana would end up staying,
This is crazy.
and although she would later state the reason was because of the baby not having a passport, at the time a lot of people besides her family were upset. Some people would vent their frustration online.
Eliana didn't leave because Eliana gets fixes off being able to pull mother strings, not only over there but over here. Why didn't she leave? Because she can't get a fix like this nowhere else. This is that little heifer's drug. That's why she didn't leave. She didn't leave because this is the greatest mother show on earth for her right now, and she is ringleader.
Just a few weeks later, Eliana would attempt to leave again. This time, Nature Boy told her if she wanted to leave, she would have to leave the baby. She ended up leaving for a few hours, but when she returned, Nature Boy would make a disgusting joke about the baby that would cause an online uproar.
He knew I wasn't, didn't want to leave my baby, but I wanted to leave so bad one day that I contemplated leaving my child in this coat, and my boobs just started leaking of milk, and I was just like, I can't leave my child, so I went back.
Listen, now Eliana came back, right? Eliana came back after her little show that she put on, and I guess they was talking about, or they was joking about how people in his comments was trying to help him find things to feed the baby. Now listen to this weird, nasty ass make this sick ass joke that I don't even want to keep repeating. Listen.
All I heard was like, yeah, milk, coconut milk, almond milk, free milk.
Grass milk. Just jack off and give me some coffee.
Whoa! Whoa! Now you see them laughing like that's funny? This acting like he the baby, and he said just jack off and give me some. Who the jokes like that about anybody, let alone their own daughter? And they laughed. This just made a joke about jerking off and feeding his own child, and the mother of the child and the other idiots laughed. Laughed! What?
By this time, Pee Wee had been gone from Carbonation for months. She would find herself wrapped in controversy after trying to defend Nature Boy's joke.
The way that they are living out in nature, him giving his kid, in his eyes, he sees it as, this is supplement, this is nutrition.
After facing a heavy backlash for her statement, she would go live with young Pharaoh in an attempt to clear things up.
I said damn near a year ago that Nature Boy makes people drink his. This is on
He
video.
doesn't do that shit. It's like, I could see a lot of things being at Carbonation. I could see a lot of things that y'all would say just wasn't true. You want to clip a minute video of me saying some shit, but you didn't see the hour-long live of me explaining what the fuck I was trying to say. I went live on this shit the next day because I saw how crazy this shit was like streaming through the internet. I spoke about what I meant and how I was trying to get shit across. All I said was if he was giving his kids, it wasn't on no pedophile shit.
Now,
But how does it not? Wait a minute. We're talking about this disgusting cult leader who has allowed people to sleep around with each other with STDs, to talk about ejaculate to the point where he's giving semen possibly to his daughter. That is how disgusting that is. And she's trying to excuse it. For what? And you taking all this backlash on behalf of a cult leader. And why? Just as ignorant as it come. Just as ignorant as she is trying to explain this, is as bad as the rest of the cult members that are sitting there laughing about it.
you know that's
insane.
why that would be the reason he would do something like that if he didn't tell you that's why he would do something like that?
Because I know him.
So you knowing Nature Boy,
Yes.
You don't know him.
you feel you know him enough that he would give his child because he
No.
believes it's nutritional.
No.
No,
Number
it's
one,
not.
to clear things up, he never said he gives
It's
his
not
children.
nutrition. It's so disgusting.
Her attempt at gaining clarity only seemed to make things worse.
It's not.
It made her the target of fierce criticism and online attacks.
Hey, friend.
While preparing to make this series, I reached out to Pee Wee to see if she had anything to say, now since years have passed. The following clip is some of what she told me.
At that point in time, I was delusional. I trusted Pharaoh, and then for him to bombard me with stuff like that, I just didn't know what to say. You know, he brought up the semen thing, which I still to this day don't even freaking know what the hell that was about. I think it was a joke
Hey, Shanna.
that Nature Boy made, but either
It's
way,
so
I
good.
don't really know.
I spoke way too soon, and I spoke to the wrong people. This is the real shit. Let's be honest. In that moment, I was willing to protect Nature Boy at all costs.
Why?
Even if it made me look and sound crazy. And it did.
It did. And why? Here's why. It's the brainwashing. It's the hive mentality. It's, you say anything bad about him. She didn't have to say anything at all. She wasn't even there. She was under no obligation to try to defend any of that. She had already left the cult. But yet she felt some need and urge to do it. And why? To me, it seems like she did it just to get some attention, get her name out there, because she knows that it would be disgusting. This is what I mean by this stuff following you. When you have stuff like that out there on social media, and then you look up 5 years later, you're like, what was I thinking? What was I saying? This is why you got to be careful. Evaluate, is it even worth saying something? Like, what is there to defend when a grown man talks about possible ejaculation to give to an infant as opposed to milk? You're feeding her your semen. What is there to even, why would you want to defend it? Why would you even want to touch that topic? Unless you're saying that is disgusting. And now she's wrong. She realized she was wrong now, but after it's been out there in this news cycle for so long, on social media for so long, and at some point she's probably wanting to get married and have kids. They're going to come across this stuff. The same thing with Umar Tardians and Candy Asses. All those videos and stuff like that, at some point, their kids are going to grow up and see that stuff. Their grandchildren are going to grow up and see this stuff. How are you going to explain it? But it's only embarrassing after you realize this didn't go the way I wanted to go. She didn't get anything out of that other than a backlash, a tongue lashing. That's it. She didn't get any notoriety, no money, no nothing. She's still a nobody.
I still was very much yearning to be accepted by Nature Boy. But like in that moment, that was stupid to say. I should never have said that. But again, yes, I was just trying to get his approval, and it made me look crazy.
Nature Boy called a group meeting just hours after he made that disgusting joke about his daughter. It would be during that meeting that Aya would tell Eliana that she didn't like her and felt she could do a better job at being chiefess. She also stated that deep down inside she wanted her to leave. This would be the cause of Aya getting cut from the relationship once again.
We just found out that when you was going wild, that you said that you was having thoughts in your mind of her leaving.
Yeah. And I felt ashamed about that because
you don't feel ashamed. You don't feel ashamed about it.
It does. It really hurts for me to eat.
Whatever. I don't believe about that. I don't believe you. And I don't want you here. Honestly, that's how I feel. I don't want you at all. It's just really up because I let you in our life. I share everything with you. Everything. And then you play. You don't care about Eliana. You wanted me to leave. You wanted Eliana to leave and just be out there.
And what about me? What about my daughter? What about my feelings with my daughter?
Bruh, and this is really fucked up.
That's not right.
How he is.
I don't care about Lizzie.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You can never have a thought like that and say that you care about her. No, you don't.
Oh my God.
Besides the non-stop issues between Nature Boy and his women, there were more problems piling up behind the scenes as well. Pure's van was having more mechanical issues, and the money they had on hand was running super low. Nature Boy had no choice but to invest more money into fixing the van.
Yeah, see how this goes with this? None of them are working. They don't have jobs. So how are they generating income? Because you can't completely live off the land if you're going to stream or drive vehicles, right? Because it takes money for those things to operate. Who's paying these cell phone bills? How are they getting gas put in those vehicles? It takes money to do all of that. Guess what? Nature Boy didn't bring his money into this code. He's spending other people's money. The people that come into the cult, just like how it was with Jim Jones, making you give up all your possessions, all your money, turn over your bank accounts, clear them out, and it goes all to the cult. So you have nothing. If you try to leave, you will have nothing. If you get out, good luck to that. And if you do make it out, you have to start life all over again. This is as bad as Jim Jones, but it didn't end up with over 500 plus people dying. I mean, that, and it's sad to say that, but he operated the same way, except he mistreated a bunch of other black people. But it was on this whole tangent like Umar with this melanin, and you're not black enough, and you can't have the dark-skinned person with the light-skinned person, and all this old nonsense. For him to show nothing more that he is abusive towards his own black people. That's it.
When he sent Solar and Pure to go pick it up after it was fixed, the two of them disappeared for 3 hours. Nature Boy would go live reprimanding the two of them. This is when Pure would get his first thoughts of leaving.
3 hours, bro. 3 hours.
So majority of the time was spent with the mechanic. He was trying to charge more.
Right, but bruh. 3 hours, my nigga, no contact. We calling around like, yo, bro, I'm about to go out here. I'm about to get the bikes, go out here looking for you. I'm thinking somebody had picked you up out here. Yeah. 3 hours, bro. No contact. You ain't feel in your mind to say, let me contact Chief to see if to make sure, let him know that I'm alright. Even if you didn't have that, to be like, use somebody's phone or something. You had to use that the mechanic. You couldn't use the mechanic phone to call me. Why didn't you contact me? What about you, Pure? Did you think to contact me? Speak up!
Wow.
Damn it! If something happened to one of y'all, that shit come back on me, bro. What the fuck?
He just going off for no reason. You're absolutely right, French. You got Jim Jones, Koresh, Order of Solar Temple, so many of these cult leaders. I mean, they live off of their followers' money. Didn't he take money off people who came into the cult? Exactly. He did. He did. So I wanted to make sure you guys could still see and hear. Just let me know if something's going on with the technical issues or anything like that. But yes, he did take the money. That was one of the things that he kind of, when it came to the men, he valued their importance in the cult based on what they brought in and what they had to offer. Because he really didn't care about the men. He just cared about the women. French said, Francis, usually the cult member are still working or something. Yeah. They'll go out and do all the labor and stuff. And then, the cult leader walks around treating himself like he's God and he doesn't have to do anything. It's crazy. A lot of cult leaders are living because of their follower money. Yep. Y'all know what David E. Taylor was the same thing. It's sex cult, polygamy type cult, where they were holding people hostage, making them work in these so-called call centers, soliciting money for this guy that proclaimed himself to be a bishop and he's not, or an apostle. And he was nothing more than a cult leader. And now he's being indicted. He has been indicted by the FBI. He's facing years in prison. I mean, easily 40, 50 years in prison. And he deserves every single second he spends there. He deserves it.
You see what I'm dressed? I'm about to go out here looking for your ass. Then I gotta leave my baby.
Just weeks later,
this is crazy.
Nature Boy and Eliana will have an argument on Instagram Live. During the argument,
of course,
Eliana stormed off holding the baby. People will begin saying Nature Boy hit her as she stormed past him. Before the live ended, you could hear Eliana screaming in the background.
That fight transpired. We were all just in the living room, just, communing, and he just started spazzing, creating another argument. He was like, that's how I saw him. Like, oh, he's about to start another argument. Yeah, but he was like, I feel like to her, he was like, I feel like you looking at True. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, she just irate.
I thought that True was giving Eliana some rhythm, and I was like, what you doing that for? And I was just feeling that she was liking that attention. And so I was like trying to address that. And then Eliana got very upset.
Me and Aaron were about to sit down and enjoy our meal
you know, for solar noon at the time. That's what we called it, solar noon. We were about to enjoy our meal, and I remember he, you know, Velvet was sitting on the floor with the baby, and you know, he had turned to her and said, "Oh, I see you looking at Drew and giving him, I don't know, like I guess
What?
he felt like she was giving Aaron some energy or something, and
he was so insecure.
And she was just so fed up.
Now what you do? Since you pissed off, now what you do? Huh?
Exactly, Tony.
What you do because you pissed off now? I asked you a question. So once you get pissed off, it's okay for you to violate your...
Yeah, definitely the black version of Jim Jones. How do you not have all, you know, you brag on yourself, talking about how you're so healthy and blah, 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 and you have no security or confidence or self-esteem. Oh, I can't believe you're looking at somebody. He's got 4 or 5 women at his disposal. This is the matter of control that cult leaders want to have. Just like what Umar was talking about, how is it Serena Williams is willing to give her body to a white man? Why do you care? You can't do anything for her, you Brokeback Mountain. You don't care. You're only looking at whatever physical gratification you could possibly get out of someone while you have no job or anything of substance to offer. Serena Williams does not need Umar Johnson at all. In her world, he doesn't even have to exist. But yet, you see men reaching for the stars like this. He's got 4 or 5 women. He's trying to be polygamous. And he's so insecure. One of the women can't even look at a dude. What do you mean? Do you not have 3 or 4 other women you can tend to? But that's how insecure he is. As a cult leader, they're all like this.
Moral code, because you and your emotions, it's okay for you to violate your moral code now, huh?
Annie?
You ain't want to tell me what I'm going to do. It's my house.
Your house.
You ain't going to still, like I said, you still not going to tell me what to do. It's in my house. Point blank period. But once you get emotional, you think it's okay to drop the moral code, right? Everything is cool with you until you get emotional. Then that shit go out the door. Only reason why you upset is because you caught.
Anybody caught it? That's what y'all wanted to address it yesterday.
We did address it. We did it. We did it. So how you got a regular attitude right now, honestly? Like if you really
I'm sitting here, I sat right here first. I've been right here all day. Now if he sat right there and you felt some type of way, you should have told him to move. You should have been like, what are you doing? Why are you even sitting right there? If that's how you felt, that energy, but you saying to him that on live.
Yeah, y'all, she can't even feed the baby properly because of this stupid argument. Look how it's disrupting the baby. And it, you know, for those who want to claim that he lived off the land and this, that, and the third, how? I see nothing but electronics up in here. Why is he not in a tent? You know, he made the other members, the cult members, sleep out in tents in the yard. Why is he not in a tent? The hypocrisy of this whole, oh, you're living off the land and this, that, the third. They got more electronics in there than I have in my house.
You ain't doing it alone. That's how you
I kind of just caught it on live.
Look at that.
I wasn't. You seen when I caught it too. Like you seen
all
when I
kinds of
caught it too.
electrical cords.
I've been here all day though. I've been here all day in this spot. I did yoga in this spot. I was with Eliana in this spot. I was sleeping in this spot. And I came back to this spot.
Your dishonesty is less than moral because it'd be different if you could admit.
You know, she just got up and she just like, look, I'm walking away. Like, I don't even want to address this. You're on live and you're going to address this now. You know, like, this is crazy.
You did hit her.
Honesty is less than moral because it'd be different if you could admit.
You know, she just got up and she just like, look, I'm walking away. Like, I don't even want to address this. You're on live and we're going to address this now.
Wow.
You know, like, this is crazy.
They're just standing around.
I just remember
Where's
kind of
the
like,
baby?
I don't know what happened,
because I didn't see it from my own eyes. I just remember that it was a lot of, you know, yelling and stuff.
I'm sorry, she had a baby in her hand. Oh my God. Y'all hear the baby screaming. What the hell?
You think I should keep this rolling?
Once the camera was turned off.
What? Oh my God. I'm getting upset because I heard that baby crying like it was in pain. That's a painful cry. That baby is crying so hard it's trying to catch a breath. And then she's screaming. What the heck is going on? And why are they just standing around like idiots? You can't make this up. Did no one go and get the baby? What the hell? They all look underfed. But y'all see all this food out here, right? It's like he controlled their eating. Nature Boy Dookie Juice Johnson will be sharing sales soon. Exactly. He is filming his own disgrace. Exactly. He films his own abuse. He hit her while I was holding the baby. Yes. While she was holding the baby. And then you all hear the baby screaming and crying so hard. It was like a huge break in between the cry because the baby's trying to catch a breath. Oh, yeah. Nature Boy is going to be in prison for the rest of his life, plus 10 years. That's where he belongs. This is unbelievable.
Fight would lead outside. Joy would later explain what happened next.
He follows her outside, and then he's like screaming. He's like, you know, they're going back and forth, and he's like, "You holding that baby because you think it's going to protect you. You always trying to hold the baby to protect you." So he hits her, he grabs the baby from her. He's like, "You're not gonna let this baby. You're not gonna use the baby as a shield. You're gonna get your ass whooping, pretty much." So he grabs baby Ellie, and he's holding her by her leg, and he's hitting Velvet with the other one while he's holding the baby like this. So I grab Ellie, and I'm holding the baby, and I just run in the house with the baby, and he's fighting her outside,
and
he's holding the baby by her leg. That means the baby had to be upside down, because it's the only way you're holding the baby. She's not having her head, because you holding her upside down. How do you know you weren't shaking her up? This is how abusive this idiot is, this demon. Now you all see why I said he should never get out of prison? The entire state of Georgia should revolt if he gets out of prison. Just for that. Holding the baby by her leg, and he's fighting her outside. Y'all see the caption here. You can't make this up.
And next thing you know, Velvet had cut off all her hair, and that's what I realized. I'm like, this is
oh my God. After the fight, she went upstairs, chopped her hair off. She had already had lice, so I feel like that was one of the like pushing factors to like she was just fed up at this point. She's pissed off. She's dealing with him. Her head's fucking itching. She probably still got lice. So she just chopped her shit off.
So today, while I was on the camera,
all these punk ass men standing around.
My baby girl. So here's what happened. Eliana got upset again. That's something that triggered her anger. Everything is okay. Everything is always okay.
Not.
Nana chopped the hair off in anger. But she got angry, got a temper tantrum.
Unbelievable.
She got crazy because she got in her anger and decided to...
Look how he's trying to make it seem like it's her fault. You know, she got angry and her temper tantrum and her anger. But never mind him fighting her, holding the baby upside down by the leg and saying you shouldn't be using the baby as a shield, which is an indication that he had every intention on putting his hands on her and fighting her like she's a grown man while holding a baby upside down by her leg. That little bitty baby. Even the mother's holding her almost by one hand and one arm. You grab this little bitty baby by her leg. What if he had disconnected the leg out of the hip? What the hell?
Walls to fall off.
Oh,
Let's just say she cut her hair off.
You going to hell.
Right, in a moment of anger.
You can't make this up.
Which is unacceptable.
Nature Boy would call a family
Never mind
meeting later
that,
that evening.
him grabbing
where
the
he would
baby
tell
by the leg.
Eliana the relationship was over.
With a love. You see what I'm saying? Because the whole world has watched me be super patient with you and your insecurity.
No, the whole world listened to you grab a baby by the leg and fight her, and you refuse to take her to the U.S. Embassy. Just drop her off. Take her to her father.
Now, I'm not an insecure person, not at all.
Yes, he is.
But if I feel insecure in my relationship, I would like to bring that to the table and talk about it. Because that's who I am. I'm a communicator. I'm having a real nigga moment and you flare the fuck off. As if I deserve that little bit of patience from you after the world has seen, and not only is my reflection before the world can ever seen it, for the time, the whole time we've been together, I've been nothing but patient with you when you've been insecure about polygamy. I sat and explained it. I turned the camera on. I sat you on my lap and said, baby, I would never do that to you. I love you. I sat there and reassured you in front of everybody. And this is one little moment where I had the indication that I was insecure about our relationship and what was going on. Did I not deserve the same patience and love from you? In every episode that you have, in every real nigga moment, it was like you falling apart. I picked you up. So the one time that I'm insecure in our relationship, which doesn't happen often, this something so little, something so petty, you flare the fuck off as if I do this all the time. You act like I'm doing this to you all the time. I never do this. I felt something and I brought it up like, what's up, y'all? Y'all feeling each other? Like, what's going on? I want to know. Because we have a rule here in Carbonation. If your girl is feeling, if you got a notion that somebody else is feeling.
Yeah, the rule is he thinks he can have all the women. And if they don't want him, he forces them out. But if they're at least willing to sleep with him once, then he'll just pass them off to the next dude. Because that's, the narcissism in him. He is pure evil. Look at this little bitty baby and her little leg.
Somebody, what do we do? Call a meeting. Sound off again. Call a meeting. We call a meeting. We communicate. Because I never wanted to be with somebody else's girl. And I'm still not giving up on you. I'm not going to be with you no more. Me and you are no longer directs after this. You are my student right now. Me and you are not together anymore. You are my student. After this episode, no. Because I deserve better than this, and you deserve better than what you've given yourself. So you can stay here, and you can be my student, but me and you are not lovers anymore. You are not my director. You are not my chief anymore. You can't make this up. From this day forward. That's fine.
Before the meeting was over,
Unbelievable.
Nature Boy would drop a bombshell that would shock his followers. Just a few weeks after joining Carbonation as Nature Boy's director,
they had hair like
Ra was now going to be with Solar.
So, we talked today, and Ra, you stated some things. Excuse me, watch your toes. You stated some things that you need that relationship, and that you had felt some things for Solar.
So they had STDs flowing through the coat. Lice. Y'all can tell they're barely bathed. They can just rearrange partners at will. It's like they're just swapping around. They're mostly, between ages of 18 and 23, 24. Nature Boy was the only old one up in there. He was well over 30, 35. And these kids like 20, 21, 22, 23. They're in their early mid-20s at most. He's well over 30. And look how he acts. And it's swapping around like just randomly. And it's just, her father told him, drop her off at the U.S. Embassy. And as you all can see, that was not an easy feat because he refused to take her. He refused to just let her go.
In a moment, in the studio. And that you would like to move forward and engage in those emotions. And you said also that you was having problems with Eliana as well, and that you just needed that bonding, someone, that emotional bonding to go to learn through. You know, so you want to speak your heart.
I feel like I need that one-on-one because I see that when I was with Chief and Nana and with the other wives, my energy wasn't flowing as how it was flowing in the studio when I was with Solar. In this moment, I was just thinking about me, like how I could grow, how I could let my energy flow better because it wasn't doing anything good for me when I was in the relationship with Chief and Nana.
Although Nature Boy told Eliana they weren't going to be together anymore, they never broke up. He would keep her and Efru as his wives. Just days after Eliana's meltdown, the entire group would also cut their hair. It was presented online as a show of support for Eliana.
She was in the room sleeping, and he was just like, I want to cut my hair off for her, you know, to support her.
And here's the thing, that you know, every cult has been either just trash or definitely demonic and evil. It's led to some heinous, disgusting, deplorable acts. But we learn about it to recognize that pattern of behavior. To recognize when you see cult members online behaving like a cult, thinking and speaking like a cult, because they go around doing the same thing. Could it be bots? Probably. They could also be real people just recycling the same old nonsense because they have this hive mentality. They don't want to think outside the box. When they're online, you never know who and what you're dealing with. But for those who do care, like when you're trying to get results out of something, like with Umar's mother, we want his mother to be able to spend time with the rest of her family and her children, because Umar has no right to have that control over her. He has no right or legal standing to restrict her from the rest of her family. And he's going to learn the hard way, because he refused to just do the right thing and stop making it about himself. But who goes out of their way this bad to keep their own mother from even having a wellness check? A wellness check. He lied to a Social Security social service worker that came to the home and said she wasn't there when she was in the house. Nothing was on camera or on screen, but why lie? Even in that situation, why lie to the social services worker about your mother not being there? Why not just let her lay eyes on her? There is no way his mother doesn't want contact from any other human being. But Umar is a cult. He's a cult leader with this mentality that he has the right to control people. And it's disgusting. All it does is give me vibes that he's hiding something very, very evil and sinister. And that's why I continue to demand proof of life. Where I should not be at a point where I'm asking if she's even alive, because no one should be fighting this bad to keep one person away from their entire family. He's not shielding her from any real danger or threat or harm. He's just being a controlling piece of crap, a soulless being. And that's how these cult leaders act. And that's why it's important to recognize it.
We were all like, yeah, that's beautiful. You should do that. And he was like, yes. And I think everyone should do it. He was just like, if you don't cut your hair off, you might as well leave because you ain't rocking with us.
Crazy.
So that happened.
It was around this time that calls to the Mexican authorities began to ramp up once again. The callers were stating that Nature Boy had beat Eliana and forcefully cut off her hair.
You see, house niggas, that's what house niggas do to field niggas. You feel niggas. House niggas gonna call massa on you. They still don't grab. They don't grasp.
He speak like a Umar.
I'm gonna call massa on you. Somebody call CPS. Somebody call the cops.
Yeah, you grabbed the baby by her leg and you hit her mother. You physically abused the mother and you grabbed the baby away from her by her leg. And eyewitnesses said you were holding her by her leg. Not even upright. You have to be holding her upside down. And then you're trying to physically assault the mother while you got the baby in the other hand. That's endangerment. That is child endangerment. What the hell?
Police protect black people. Since when? Since
It's
when?
child endangerment.
They protect black women and put them in shelters to separate them and break up the black family. Since when has cops helped black people? Since when? All of our brothers, our real brothers, is locked up in prison right now. And what does prison do for our brothers? Does it rehabilitate them? Fuck no. It destroys them even worse. They come out, they don't have no jobs, they can't get a job.
That's why
you talk to me about the new Jim Crow and tell me what the police have done for our people. We don't need no police. Y'all couldn't call the police on us if y'all wanted to, because we're out of your jurisdiction. That's how it works over here. We're out of your jurisdiction. And everybody here wants to be here. So you can't stop none of this shit from happening, so you might as well shut the fuck up and just watch.
Wow.
In an effort to calm the chaos and try to clean the image of carbonation, Nature Boy would go live portraying the group in a more positive light. In the video, the men could be seen in the house dancing and cooking. Outside, the women were starting a small garden and all seemed to be getting along. But this new happy and cheerful side of carbonation would only last a few weeks. Behind the scenes, Eliana was still struggling with polygamy, and the verbal arguments and physical fighting with Nature Boy were getting worse. Once again, she would attempt to leave, only to return.
Just let her go. What's going on, Get Cool? Oh, I know you did. No, they just let her go.
Just walk out on your thing like that after we did what we did, yo. We don't owe us no explanation or nothing. Like, just gonna walk over, like, it is what it is, man. Like, what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like.
And I even would say this, you know, the Mexican authorities looking at this like, okay, you Americans bringing y'all issues and problems to our country. You would think they would want them to be thrown back out, but they didn't do much of anything there. Much of the traction with the authorities itself didn't really start picking up until they came back to the U.S. And then they went to Decatur, Georgia, and realized no one is for play out there. He even put his address out there and thought no one would call the police to his house. Like stuff like this, people don't forget when you're sitting here endangering a child, grabbing a newborn infant by her leg, and then physically attacking the mother while you're holding the baby. That no one forgets stuff like that. But see, all these men, you would have thought those dudes would have went out there and tackled him, held him down and said, no, bro, we're not going to let you just beat on her. And then you got the baby in your hands. What's wrong with you? One of these dudes was from the military. You would have think they would have said, no, we're not going to stay here and let you just hit on women. You're not going to do that. It's more of us than it is of you. So you can sit here and play big and bold if you want to. You can't overpower all of us. If all these guys that were there, it was like 8 of them. If all of them would have went out there together and said, we're not going to let you hit on these women. You're not going to do that. He would not have done it because he knows he would have had to face 8 other men. And he would not have been able to handle them all at one time. The only support he had was in this cult. So he would have had to face and fight all 8 of these dudes at once. That's what should have happened. I think it was a little bit more than that. They should have whooped his ass.
Tron, you gave it a stuff? Paperwork.
Oh, he has life in prison. He's in prison for life, Tanya, plus 10 years. So let's say he do life, which now he's gonna die in there. But he has life in prison plus 10 years. Yep. He's never getting out. Thank you.
You see, we shaved our head. That was it. That was the last gesture of reaching out to try to help. After that, I washed my hands. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, she's just, I'm done.
Yep, that's episode 15. This
Previously on the rise
16.
and fall of nature.
Just want to get a shout out to Locked Vegan. Thank you for the $25 super. Hey, look at God. We made our goal for the goal for the live. I appreciate you coming out of the bushes to tell you great work for bringing awareness. Found you about a month ago and your streams are fired. Your foot to the pedal. Thank you so much. I sure will. I don't know how to do it any other way, you all. That's why, you guys can see there's a theme in the information that I present and bring forward. A lot of this stuff is it's interconnecting. It connects together. You have this nature boy here who called himself, this conscious part of the conscious community, where he was, always talking about Black people and melanin and how we're the greatest and how we're gods and all these things. And look how he's treating his other Black people. Same thing with Umar and the Umar Tardians. And they take that abuse, the verbal, the psychological abuse, the financial abuse. They take it like they deserve that because they don't want to break away from it. And then you have Candace Owens out here. Her cult, it's just a lot more of them, but it's no different. It's the same setup. The financial abuse, the lies, the manipulation. I don't care if you're trying to tell a story or paint a narrative. It's still a lie if you don't have any facts or documentation. It goes beyond an opinion or a question. But that is the manipulation of it. If I ask a question, I'm asking a question that most people will ask, and that I'm either wanting some documentation or evidence to prove, or I can research and put together and find an answer. She asks a question as if she wants people to think something from some alternate reality. How can bees be communistic? Like, her questions aren't questions. They're part of this narrative to get people to think, oh, this is so enlightening and so it's so intelligent. No, it's not. It lacks logic. There's no sense in this. And there are 1,000 questions to combat that. But all these people, you can see a common pattern developing here. Like Nature Boy, the cult of personality is what I'm trying to get people to understand and learn and be discerning on. Have some discernment on this cult of personality. I welcome challenge. I welcome questions. I don't sit here and get mad at it. People don't have to agree with me. But when I produce facts and evidence and documentation, that's concrete. It is what it is. We're all reading the same documentation. And then if you infer what you want from it, you can. But this is what you steer clear of. Those who want to sit here and perpetuate this cult of personality, this hive-like mentality, where they feel like if you say something else, then all of a sudden you're being a hater. Why are you so mad? Why are you so this? I'm very happy, and I'm going to keep reporting on this just to prove my point. That's all I can say. I'm not mad, angry, or hating on anyone. These are words that most of those Umar Tardians and the candy asses and, all these cult members, they can't even define half those terms. They don't understand the concept of it. No one has to be mad, angry, or anything. As a matter of fact, let me prove it by doing more content on it. Because it's not about being angry. It's about being educated. So I appreciate that. And yes, we're going to keep our foot on the pedal here. Let's get to it. We got episode 16, and then that's going to be the end of our watch party. And then the next watch party we have will be episodes 17 and 18, you all. So.
Your boy in carbonation.
But how could you just walk out on your family like that after we did what we did, yo? We don't owe us no explanation and nothing. Like, just gonna walk over, like, it is what it is, man. Like, what should we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what could we do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, Tron, you gave it stuff. It ain't right. Paperwork. Shit crazy. It just is what it is, my nigga. So, what can we do, right? It is
our head, that was it. That was the last gesture of reaching out to try to help. After that, I washed my hands over. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, she's just, I'm done. I'm done.
The echoing.
Eliana didn't leave that night, but the following morning, her decision to leave still hadn't changed.
I don't want to have no more children by you. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a part of it.
Whoa, hold up. You ain't gonna disrespect me, huh?
That's why I'm trying to leave. I don't want to disrespect you. That's why I want to leave. I wish you would just let me.
Yeah, but it ain't that simple.
It's very that simple.
It's really not that
Yes,
simple.
it is.
You coming from an secure place.
So that I
She
can
wants
call
to
somebody so I
leave.
can get from point A to point B, and then I'll be out your hair. And you can attract whoever you need to fill the shoes or to do whatever you need them to do. Plus more. I'm in your way. I'm the problem. I'm in your way.
No, you in your way.
Well, I'm in both our ways, and I don't want to be in your way. So
That's cool. You can leave my child here.
No, I'm not.
Leave my baby girl here, yeah.
No, because he can't take care of her.
So you gonna take her back to Babylon?
Yep.
See, you doing this out of jealousy.
I'm not.
You could leave, but you're not taking her with you. You're not taking her. You're not taking her. Because you want to be stupid. She shouldn't have to suffer because you want to be stupid.
I'm leaving
You
with
can't
her.
make this stuff up.
I'm leaving with her.
Because you don't want to be here, you could just take my child out of my life. You see what kind of decisions you're making for her? What about me and her relationship? You said you don't care if me and her have a relationship. She'll be all right. Why can't you be all right without her? How come I gotta be all right without her and not you?
Because you can't take care
You
of
could have more children too.
I'm not having no more children. That's the point.
Unknown to Nature Boy, as he was on live with Eliana, people were calling the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, saying he was holding her and the baby against their will.
Yeah.
Later
that's
that
exactly
afternoon,
what he was doing.
Mexican authorities would pull up to the house to start a long overdue investigation.
So the federales pull up at the gate. They pulls in, trucks deep. You know what I'm
you can't
saying?
make this up.
And the motherfuckers coming in like
Nature Boy is a coward.
dressed in regular
Thank
clothes
you.
though. So we
It's
like
crazy.
we got the guns on their hip and shit. What happened was
Yeah, because he's scared of them.
so many trolls
Oh, no.
was calling the U.S. Embassy that
Oh, no.
they had to do an investigation. You know what I'm saying? Because it was wild complaints to the U.S. government that we was a sex cult, that we was doing crazy shit here that we wasn't. So when they come here, they look around. Man, these dudes, they cool. They can feel the energy. And they like, man, this is crazy. They talking to each other laughing because it's nothing like it's on the paperwork. They asked all the people here, are they here against their will? They got all of this stuff on the camera for the U.S. Embassy.
Primero pregúntenles a uno por uno si están de manera. Do you want me in the video too? Sure. Okay. Con su nombre, ¿no? Con su nombre. I will ask the name from everyone and I will ask you if you are here on the spot. La niña. Pásale a las sombras. Ok, entonces a ver what's your name? Sí, que te acerques más. How old are you?
You gotta come over here too. He's not over here. He's not looking at it.
Que si no, no está viendo las horas, dice.
This one.
Aquel. Ah, sí, el que te acerque un poquito más, por favor, Federico. Ok.
You gotta look at him. Can you tell him that he gotta look at
Sí, ok. Name, please?
Logan Leathers.
Logan Leathers. How old are you, Mr.?
25.
25.
Ishmael Gilmore.
Ismael? 20.
Marjorie Wayne. 18.
Eligio Bishop.
Eligio Bishop.
Armand Palmer.
Armand.
Velvet Marquez.
Velvet Marquez.
Porche Wade.
How old?
31.
31. A little younger.
Kayla Buckner.
Kayla.
Tori Oster.
Okay, there is about this investigation. We need to know if you guys are here. If nobody is pushing you to be here, obligated to be here. If you guys go leave anytime you decide. Are you free to decide to stay or to leave?
Yes. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Les pregunté que si estaban, podían estar aquí por su cuenta, si te podían decidir quedarse o irse, y todos dijeron que sí.
Listen, I want to say something. No, I want to say something.
So Get a Clue said there was one time when, hold on one second. One time when he started flipping out and the toddler in the house ran and hid. When I saw that, I called every day because the police and the FBI, you called the police and the FBI every day. Yeah, because that's child abuse. I mean, you're putting the kids' lives in danger when you're perpetuating this physical violence and abuse in front of them, or where they could potentially end up being hurt or harmed because of that. If you're holding a baby by the leg and you're trying to fight the mother, you're already hurting the baby by holding them upside down by the leg. What if you turn around and either mother or father hit the baby or he dropped the baby? He did all of that just to put his hands on a woman. I want y'all to understand the gravity of that. Picture it. Sicily, 1942. This dum-dum is outside chasing a woman with a baby who's all of what? She's about 5 feet tall. He's probably about 5'11", 6 feet. And he grabs the baby away from her by the leg. And while holding the baby by the leg upside down, he's swinging and hitting the mother. And mind you, she's probably fighting back and trying to get her baby back. Now picture that sight. And you tell me he doesn't belong in prison for the rest of his life. You can't make that stuff up. All those men out there, and you mean to tell me that none of them can run out there just for seeing that baby hanging upside down by the leg? They couldn't whoop his ass. It's so crazy. Man, he said the Army dude is a coward too. This coming from a retired paratrooper who's combat veteran. Exactly. It's a sex cult. That's exactly what it was. It was a sex cult. They was trying to run around and be naturalist and, part of this conscious community, and was talking about how Black people should be uplifted and we should be queens and princesses. All the stuff that Umar says, no different. Y'all saw young Pharaoh in these episodes. When young Pharaoh is the more sane out of the two. Come on now. Shout out to Hood Horrors. I think that's Brother Polite is going to be the next focus of his series. So you guys make sure you tune in to Hood Horrors, where he will be starting a series on Brother Polite. And it's going to be as good, if not better than this. He did a great job on this. So we're going to continue with these series. I want to be able to get through these before he starts on Brother Polite. That way we can be right on pace with him. But y'all, we got a good while to go before we get through Nature Boy. But this Nature Boy series is fantastic. There are a lot of dark points to it, but that's cults. It's a lot of darkness that happens in cults. Let's get back to it.
Everybody keeps talking about me holding people hostage. You people holding me hostage, okay? They holding me hostage. Free chief. They like, man, can we get a picture with y'all? And they're like, yeah. They happy taking a picture with us. They offered us more land. They said they got better land than this for us. They're gonna show us tours. They want to take us on tours.
Unbelievable.
So all my trolls out there, salute to you. Coconut water.
After the visit from the Mexican authorities, Carbonation moved forward as if the investigation was done and over with. Unknown to everybody, their problems in Palenque were just beginning. Within 2 weeks after the visit by the authorities, Carbonation will be dealt a major blow when Pure decided to leave and take his van. This will leave the group of nearly 20 members now stuck with only one vehicle. The worst part of it was that Nature Boy had spent nearly $3,000 fixing it, and the group's money was now nearly depleted.
This shit was broken down, and it cost us like 3 racks to fix it, but I fixed it because I thought he was family.
The only member at this point that was bringing in a monthly income was
That's
Joy.
what you get.
She was donating her military check every month to the group, but that money wasn't nearly enough to cover the monthly expenses. As a way to bring more funds into the group, Nature Boy instructed his online followers to send Carbonation 10% of their earnings.
Wow.
He referred to it as sending their ties.
You're supposed to give 10% of your earnings to the
church.
Y'all see what's going on
We
now?
are the real church. The carbonation is the real church. You owe your tithes and offering.
Because he claimed that he was God. Now he's instructing his followers to send him money like he's God. The only time you hear of a 10th part is in the Bible when it comes to an offering to God, not to a mere mortal that could possibly, maybe not have HIV/AIDS. This is what this is how this all started, with him getting gifts and money. Started really bringing in some income. It was just because people were sending it to him, not because he went and got a job like most average people would do. Let me go get a job doing something and still do my content, my videos and stuff. No. Now he's demanding a sacrifice. A 10th part
of what you have to the nation of carbonation.
I kid you not, y'all. This is
we are building a nation. You owe it. You owe 10% of your real church. You
look at that.
Owe your tithes and offering.
Hold on, let me refresh it.
Into the group, Nature Boy instructed his online followers to send Carbonation 10% of their earnings. He referred to it as sending their tithes.
You're supposed to give 10% of your earnings to the church. We are the real church. The carbonation is the real church. You owe your tithes and offering. You owe 10% of what you have to the nation of carbonation. We are building a nation. You owe it. You owe 10% of your carbonation, your so-called carbonation. You owe those tithes. Now, you might not understand tithes. Yes, do you know what the meaning of church means? The meaning of church is the people of God. It doesn't mean you have to be in a building. This is the new church. The church in the jungle. The church in nature, the real church.
I just want to make sure.
You must pay your tithes. I'm not going to fake and play with you. This is the church, and you owe tithes. Pay your tithes 10%. 10% of your earnings go to the church, the people of God. And I'm your minister, I'm your messenger. You better support the foundation of what we building, or you're not carbonation. And I'm not talking to nobody else.
In late March of 2019, just a week after Pure left the group, Nature Boy would go live with an announcement that would shock many people following Carbonation. The announcement was that he was kicking Aya and Ra out of the group. The reason Aya had to go was because of her admission of not liking Eliana. The reason Ra had to leave was because of her constantly challenging his authority.
I'm letting them two go, and once they leave here, we will be recorded. They left, like, whatever happens on the other side happens on the other side. So it is what it is. Ra, I be having arguments with her back and forth, like, listen, I don't got time to be arguing with nobody in my life, Ra. You feel me? You want to step up, talk to the people, I step up, like, see what I'm saying? So, it's all good.
Wow, thank you for that, French. Carbonation in French means bring to ashes by fire. That's nothing but destruction. Thank you for that. The Mexican authorities cannot be that stupid. Yeah, it's sad how they just kind of, dismissing this whole thing. Like, for them to ask for an autograph, you can't make this stuff up, man. But, this is part of this whole, you're making people, like, they're coming out and you're giving them this energy they don't need. You're almost reinforcing this bad behavior by saying you want an autograph. This is the Mexican authorities asking a cult leader for an autograph. I just want y'all to maul on that for a moment.
You feel me? Like I said, man, I don't need nobody in my life that's destructive energy. You know what I'm saying? Constructive energy for me. I need y'all good. But for me, it's like, I'm not going back and forth with nobody. Like, why I want to go back and forth with you for what? Like, for what? We trying to clean energy. It's springtime. We cleaning energy. Like, we let anything that's going, like, pure. Motherfuckers suck your energy up and don't give shit. Like, look, like I said, Pure came and showed me and taught us a lesson, man. That nigga showed me that I was a sucker. We need to tighten this shit up around here. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, so I just wanted to go on public record that it is what it is. Aya and Ra is leaving.
The following morning, Nature Boy would go live with Aya and Ra before True and Solar dropped them off at a hotel.
So this is what it is, man. I am Riley going a separate way. Y'all know what it is. So this to cut out all the rumors. We about to drop. Here it is. You feel me? Stupid shit online talking about we just dropping them off and they ain't got nowhere to go and all this dumb shit you hearing people say. Nah, we don't treat our people like that no matter what. So what we do is we're getting them a hotel. We're gonna book the hotel for a couple of days and let them get in contact with whoever they contact, and then they go their way. They're already in touch with their resources or sources that they have, and they go their separate way. And you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. That's just it. So we going, like I said, they about to load up in the van, and we're gonna get them a room for 2 days. You know what I mean? Y'all can contact them. They not gonna shit on us. We ain't gotta worry about them talking no shit about us, because this is a good thing. We already agreed that they go their way, we go our way. It'd be best for us, and hopefully we meet back on our paths. You feel what I'm saying? So for right now, they are safe. Y'all want to talk to them? They're safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, they trying to say out there, oh, we just dropped y'all off and y'all ain't got nowhere to go. Get out of here.
Okay. All right, we're here. Got the stuff. We're about to unpack. Let's go find out this room price. I'm gonna stay here real quick. I'm gonna go get the room price. What should I want?
Yeah, we can walk.
Oh wait. Yeah. We got the rooms. 2 nights. Not very expensive. 600 pesos. So y'all can't say we didn't do that. We're gonna follow this gentleman. Gonna show us where we go into the room. I'm gonna stay right behind. This kitchen is available. They got a kitchen already.
Wi-Fi.
That's what it is. Nature.
Shared showers. Clean facility.
Yeah, you got your ask them. We're gonna ask them the water source.
Right.
Because it is the tropics.
That's true.
I mean, they got all this hangout spot. Think about everything. Saturday chart.
Now we're entering the living space. And all of the rooms. One for the store.
So what's so baffling to me is he's saying like, oh, well, you guys can't say we didn't use the money for this. Okay, but he's expecting people to give him 10% of their earnings. So you have no intention on showing any proof of how the money is being spent either way. At some point, you know, the dollars pick up and he starts bringing in more money. He doesn't ever show any receipts or proof of how he's doing it. What will be the purpose again? Hey, I just want to show you all how your money is being spent in this cult. I mean, you know, because I don't want to get a job. I mean, this whole idea, you sitting in a 10th part, it's so baffling to me. To go towards what? For what product or service are you rendering? At the end of the day, you're just asking people to just send you money to fund your lifestyle so you can carry on with a cult. You're not giving anybody a product or a service at the end. There's nothing you're giving back to anyone. The demand for this 10th part is absolutely insane when no one's getting anything out of it. I just want to show you all the receipt, 600 pesos. Okay, so what are you giving back to those people in return other than you showing a receipt that you used the money to buy a hotel? It's one thing to say, hey, I need a little help with a bill or something like that. I'm working in times of falling short and it's hard right now and I need a little help. That's one thing. But this man was expecting, Nature Boy wants people to send him this every month, like a 10th par, consistently. Like he's God. And then to give back in return. He can't do anything for anybody. He's absolutely useless. If it wasn't for all of the abuse and the polygamy nonsense going on, I mean, and let's say he barely was on social media, no one would know he existed. That's the crazy part of all of this. No one would know he existed if it was not for the fact that he was constantly on social media, They were creating such an uproar. He was so abusive. The polygamy, the sex cult, all this stuff. If you had half of that going on, none of the abuse, none of the cult-like mentality. Everybody was out actually working somewhere, and they just happened to live all there. And he was not on social media. You would not have known that Nature Boy and Carbonation even existed. That's what's so crazy about this. They did all of this intentionally.
Okay, so this is what it is. Outside spot. It's really just a room.
Yeah. Just for sleeping.
The environment itself, though, I wouldn't spend much time in there at all anyway.
Right.
But how do y'all feel about everything going on?
Make it work. Yeah. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but...
Thanks. Anything? That's it?
Alright, so y'all do acknowledge that you were dropped off safely and that your roles were paid for and you are on your own journey at this point. Yep. That's better.
Alright, thanks. I love myself.
I love myself.
She said you leaving next. What'd you say? You said she ain't going nowhere. You heard?
Aya came here with nothing. And so, because I let her into our life and, you know, was going to be her sister wife, what's mine is yours. And so I shared everything with her. I shared my husband, I shared my clothes, I shared energy, I answered questions for her. I shared a lot of, I let the baby put the baby out. I put the I let her pacify baby Eliana. She was there for me for a lot of stuff when I came out the hospital, when I was pregnant, like all that. And then after it all was said and done,
Bitch, I'm jealous.
yeah, it was just weird how she did it, like how she, like the spaceship was coming from, and then we just held the meeting after that, and then that's when she was just like, yeah, he was like, you should stop lying about it. We just had a whole meeting, and she said she didn't like me and stuff like that, and then it was what it was, and it just that's
so you
what
go your separate way. You don't like my wife, and why are you here then? You know what I'm saying? Bye.
But the only thing that really hurt my feelings about, well, it really not hurt my feelings because I knew it, you know what I'm saying? I already had the thoughts. I had already expressed my heart when it came to Aya multiple times throughout the relationship. Though I was uncomfortable a lot of the times and all of the times with Aya because I share, just imagine if you share your whole life with somebody, literally. And then and then you at the end of the day they don't like you, but you never did that person nothing. You know, I'm very loving, but if you have an ill intent towards me, no one likes that. You know, if somebody has an ill intent towards you, you're not gonna be like, yeah, hey, and be in denial about that person not liking you. No, you're gonna be like, why you don't like me? You're gonna ask questions.
We might do a night where we open up and take applications. But right now we just need to heal from that shit first. That was crazy. Yo, Solar, report. How do you feel about Rod leaving? They want to know.
I feel like
you heard him say he gonna
probably
fix
the
an
best thing for
application.
him. They weren't focused on the knowledge here.
Yeah, because see, when your cult is dwindling, you know, you need to now you have to make sure that you're bringing in money. You gotta bring in extra money because the cult is dwindling down. So that means that you're not bringing in as much money as you anticipate bringing in. Because that's part of the whole cult is that everyone else is financially feeding into the cult except the cult leader. And in this situation, all these darn wives he keeps trying to claim. But people left because they wanted to leave. They wanted to get out. They saw the beginning of the end, like you said, Francisca. This was starting to become the beginning of the end, like halfway through, because it's like 46 episodes total, right? So you see by episode 1920, where it really, the moment they came to Atlanta, to Georgia, and they lived in Decatur, Georgia, that's when it really got, that's when it really starts to hit the fan. That's when the ceiling starts to really cave in, because they came back to the States thinking they could still do the same thing they had been doing in Mexico and where is it? Honduras, Puerto Rico, wherever. All these places they had lived outside the US, out in the land. They came back to the US thinking that they can still do the same thing and get away with it. And it just didn't work that way. Plus, he started picking up more notoriety. He started bringing in more money. And then, of course, they bought that house in Decatur, even though they didn't purchase it flat out, because you would think if you own this house, then no one should have been evicted. But if you're doing all kinds of heinous stuff in that house, they could collect that house from you, as part of that evidence. They could take that as assets and reclaim it. You're funneling drugs through here, or, illegal prostitution, some sort of, organized crime running in this home. Yeah, we're going to forfeit this asset from you. That's what they consider to be a forfeiture of assets, where they take the assets from you, especially the assets that was used in the organized crime. It's the same thing they're trying to do with Letitia James, the New York Attorney General. They're trying to take that house. We're forfeiting this asset from you because you've been using this to lie on bank documents, to lie about loans, to lie about who's living in it. Okay, so we'll just take this back. And Miss Independent said it was a rent-to-own house. Okay, yeah, because that makes sense. Because it's like, how you didn't buy anything if you ended up being evicted from it because you didn't pay the bills. But I believe that even if he had bought it and owned to own it, they would have forfeited the asset from him. Because you don't get to sit here and make money off of your criminal activity. And having assets like this that was used as a place where the crimes occurred, we can take that back. Take that all back. So he's in prison for the rest of his life. We thank God for it. But this is what, that really became the beginning of the end, the moment they came back to the States. So that's right. He didn't even have any credit. They didn't even have any income history or credit for the house loan. Exactly.
This is going to spur them into focusing on what matters. I definitely feel like they weren't here for the right reasons, and it's like a wake up. It's like a reality check. So they're going to learn, one way or another. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, and they're getting to that point. As far as if they can stay in the knowledge, they can come back, basically. But if they, if it's just not for them, then it's best that they just keep going their own way. And I think this is a good opportunity for them to really figure out, what they're doing with their lives.
It's a fact. Appreciate that response, yo. You got the receipts? You got the video?
Yep.
All right, that's what it is. We'll throw it online. Love myself. Peace for gods.
During this time, the critics of carbonation were growing by the day. Some people were just learning of the things Nature Boy and some of his members had said and done in the past. A lot of people were focused on what True had said he did to his sisters one night while he was drunk. As a way to turn down the temperature and clean up the carbonation narrative, True would address the critics head on.
So I want to talk about, am I molested? Am I? And the answer is no. I made that video for attention and exposure. You can't have a conversation about cellular structures. You can't have a conversation about mitochondria, RNA.
This is the one from the military. This is the one from the military, people. And let's not forget, all the men that were there had started at some point between, what was it, up in episode 11, 12, something around there, where they were sitting here trying to vouch for Nature Boy being bisexual. He had done, P-word videotapes and stuff with men, having encounters with men in those videotapes. And he had been a stripper in a gay club. So he was bisexual. He actually even admitted that he liked transsexual women better than regular women. Yeah. So all of the other men started giving up these stories of how they had some sort of childhood abuse of some sort, how they themselves had encounters with other men, trying to make the dumb cult leader feel good about his insecurities. And he's one of them. And he was in the military. So he said something about his sister and doing something with his relatives. So this is what he's speaking on.
And the answer is no. I made that video for attention and exposure. You can't have a conversation about cellular structures. You can't have a conversation about mitochondria, RNA, DNA with. So I said, what could I say to get niggas to watch me? So I conjured up a story about me being an alcoholic and not being able to remember if I molested or raped my Babylon sisters. It was a lie. I know myself better than anybody out there that's trying to tell me, you're a molester, you said it. I know who I am. I don't even give off the vibe of a molester. I've been getting, your eyes so pretty, you so handsome. I've been getting that since I logged in, since I was a young boy. The real out there, no, I'm not no child. Know that. You think I give a about your little pussy ass comment or your pussy ass videos? Come on. There's people, you think you have this big support.
Look how he's sitting here responding to this. But yet he's the one unprovoked that said that in a live stream. No one told him to say that. He said that unprovoked. And if Nature Boy did tell him and the other dudes to sit here and talk about how they had some sort of relation with kids and all this other stuff as kids, then that why would they want to go along with that? They should have said, no, I ain't got nothing like that, bro. I'm not even gonna make nothing like that up, because that's gonna come back on me. And if it's a lie, then how do you even get people to trust that you were lying? Because now where are the sisters? They would have to come out and corroborate the fact that he did not do something to them. You see, this is why you don't lie about something, especially so heinous as this. They don't need to lie at all. But why lie about something so heinous as that? That he did something to his Babylonian sisters, basically his actual sisters. Because now they would have to come out and say, no, he lied. He's never done anything to us at all. And I don't recall that happening.
A group of people who just like think I'm a racist and think I'm a. There's people on the other side like, this nigga's not no molester. This nigga's not no rapist. This nigga look too good. This nigga too pretty. This nigga too handsome to be attracted to children. I'm excellent with kids. People pick up the vibes on people very quickly. And everywhere I went, man, people had no problem leaving their kids around me, having me babysit their kids. I'm not concerned what people think about me, because this life is about knowing thyself. I know who I am. It doesn't matter if you think I deserve to go to hell. It doesn't matter if you think I deserve to have a hand chopped off. It don't matter what you think, because this is a simulation. This is a test of my heart.
Whether people believe Truth's response or not is a topic for another day. But days after he made it, Nature Boy allowed Aya and Ra back into the group. In a move that was almost unbelievable, even for Nature Boy's standards. He took both of them back as his wives, even though he had passed Ra to Solar just prior to him kicking her out. When Nature Boy let everybody know what he'd done, Pops went live with a stern message for Eliana.
That's not true polygamy. So, you need to stop that shit and stop being stupid. And you got my number, call me. F that, call me. Call me when you're ready to really roll. I got you. Call me.
Whether Eliana heard her father's message or not, she was ready to leave regardless. The bold act Nature Boy did was too much for her to handle. Once again, Nature Boy tried to use the baby as a weapon for her to stay.
You ain't taking my daughter.
As always.
The baby's a Mexican baby anyway. But you could leave my daughter right here.
Despite his attempt to keep her from leaving, it didn't work.
Who do you want us to drop you off at?
Nature Boy will go live from the ADO bus station in Palenque, where he dropped Eliana and the baby off.
The bottom of my border, man. I just wanted to see the bottom.
Y'all, he does not care about his children. I just want all of you to know that. I'm going to reiterate that. Nature Boy did not care about his children. He came into the cult with 2 kids, both mothers of which he physically abused. One of them he almost beat to a bloody pulp and took her life. And then there's the Wafflegate. Another young lady had gotten pregnant with his child, and he kicked her out because she was eating a waffle while he was retained in some jail. So there's another child out there that he has probably never seen or been a part of her life if she had the baby. Because he kicked her out while she was still pregnant and just trying to eat a waffle. And then he laughed about it. So he didn't care about the kids. He just used the child to keep control of her. I want my baby. He doesn't care. He has 3 other kids out there. He did not even talk about or mention. And when one of them tried to come in the early episodes, the mother let the son come out there. All she sees is him being abused in the video. He doesn't care about his kids. He only cares about weaponizing his kids to have control. That's it.
I just want to say goodbye to my daughter and hold her one last time. I can't hold my daughter one last time before I say bye to her. It's my daughter. I should be able to say bye to her. I just want to get this recorded so y'all know I dropped her off and she's safe. The only reason why I'm recording is because for my ass. If anything happened to her after I drop her, they're going to put it on me because I'm a public figure. So I have to record it for my safety. But I want to hold my daughter for the last time and say goodbye to her.
You would have never given her
kiss, you know? Every right to that, don't I?
Baby Eliana is Chief's daughter too. He has every right to want to be able to say bye to her. No, y'all can't fault him.
Yeah, this is the one that has 2 kids throughout this whole thing and doesn't even take time with his own kids. So the fact that he was trying to hold the baby, no. You had all this time to hold her. When you wanted to hold her, you grabbing her by the leg and holding her upside down just so you can physically attack her mother. So no, he does not have that right. He revoked that right the moment he grabbed the baby by the leg and held her upside down and put her in danger. Nope.
At this point, we've only been compassionate. We've only shown love. We've only shown understanding. Think about it. If it was you in his shoes and your baby mama was leaving with your baby, wouldn't you at least want to be able to say bye?
She done dipped out, so she gone. Try to promise her food that she can have for the baby, but I think she already been in contact with somebody that gonna give her money or some shit. I don't know. It's out of my control right now. You understand? So it's out of my control. It is what it is. I tried to give her something to eat and make sure she was asleep before she left. She said no. She had somebody she was getting money from. So it is what it is. So she got somebody. So you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Eliana will make a phone call to her father and stepmother from the bus station. The following is a snippet of that call.
I miss y'all, and I miss all of y'all. I miss that. I was transparent with everything. I don't want you to ever think that I wasn't transparent with him on what I felt in my heart. I told him everything. I told him my life. I told him how I felt. Now, he didn't record the other things that I said behind the camera because he felt like he's strict and he doesn't want to be disrespected. But that's one of the main things that was happening behind closed doors that he didn't like about. He felt like I was being disrespectful, but I was determined about it though. It's funny because if I did that, he would look at me as if I'm talking to my lower self.
Pops would send her money for a hotel and was going to make plans for her to leave the following day. But Eliana never left. Instead, she contacted Nature Boy the following morning and told him she didn't want to leave. Rumors began to circulate that Nature Boy was holding Eliana against her will. Just 5 days after she returned to Carbonation, Pops, along with his wife Tina, would travel to Mexico to find out firsthand what was going on.
Just got me on the bus, y'all. Like, literally.
Pops and Tina were in Palenque, unknown to Nature Boy and the entire group. They would pop up on them unexpectedly while they were bringing the baby to the doctor's office.
Oh, shit. Oh, baby girl. Oh, how y'all doing? Good. Take her out to the doctor. She got some call. What's up, sir? How you
How you
feeling?
feel?
All right.
What's wrong with her?
You don't know. It was a long.
They
fucking
showed up,
journey.
y'all. Y'all, her parents, her dad, and her stepmother showed the hell up in Mexico, in Palenque, at the doctor's office. So you know he had to be getting direct information from somebody to know where they were. And the worst part is he sent her money to try to leave, stayed at a hotel, and then she goes back to Nature Boy that morning. And then next thing you know, they're going to the doctor's office. Of course, I would be like, you know what? Hell no. I'm sending my child money to leave here. I've seen this man abuse my daughter on video. He's grabbed this baby by a leg. And all of a sudden, after I send her money for the hotel and everything, she calls him and runs back to him. And we're expecting her to come home. Oh no. He got on a plane. He went all the way to Mexico, y'all.
You don't mind, dude?
I don't mind what?
You sit in on the doctor's appointment.
Nah, we good with that. That's cool.
Hello, people.
Okay.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Cause you was online talking crazy. I know.
I'm not
You
gonna do
know,
nothing.
first of all, he shouldn't even have to ask. He's the grandfather. The only reason why Nature Boy sitting here trying to pull up his ego and pride talking about you talking crazy. I don't give a damn about your tantrum.
I'm saying like y'all was talking crazy online. It's my daughter.
You is too.
Trying to take her to the house. I understand, but you gotta respect me as a man.
I got you. Let me see.
I knew where we was at.
You.
Yeah,
You
but
put
how
everything online, man. Come
I know
on.
because I ain't hiding. I'm not hiding.
That's it. And guess what?
Pull up on me like, you know what I mean? Like it's cool,
You
but
mad because he pulled up on him. No, no one cares.
I don't want no problem.
Man, the father showed up.
Little pop right there, y'all. You know what I mean? He pulled up. I'm like, hold up. These people don't look Mexican.
Yeah.
As long as you don't try to take it.
I ain't going nowhere.
All right.
We just got here.
Like, just got here.
Driver where y'all was at.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere. He want to hold his granddaughter, y'all. First time he ever heard.
Oh, God.
That's good.
He offered to take us to lunch. We went to lunch. We sat down and we tried to have a decent conversation.
We have our bad time in any relationship, but we have a lot of good. No, and if you choose to only look at me as the bad and judge me from that alone, that ain't fair.
I live a very good life, obviously.
A very good life. She's treated very well. Very well.
Yeah, I get things sent up to me. I actually have one.
Never mind the physical abuse and him grabbing the baby by the leg. Okay.
I'm like, yo, so like,
She don't move her finger. She don't even cook her food.
He needs acceptance. And that's something I'll never give him. I held my tongue because my wife asked me to be good. So I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna just be good tonight and I'ma just chill. He did offer us to come to their camp. But what the hell I look like going to your house and you got about 15 niggas there that could do me anything? I don't have my weapons, I don't have nothing on me. Now I might could take 1 or 2 of them, but 15 of them, nah, that wasn't gonna happen. And then your boy say, well, you want me to get you a cab or something? Y'all driving, what's going on? I said, bro, you ain't gotta do nothing for me. But it's one thing I gotta get at, and I hate to give it to him. When that nigga said he owned Palenque, that's his place, I ain't lying to y'all. Everywhere we went, if you said Bishop, oh yeah, Bishop, they think he got celebrity status because he made them think, you know, showing them all these videos that it was a TV show. And, you know, we found out that, you know,
he had Palenque thinking that he was doing a TV show, but not a cult. Not some sex cult with this false religion of him being God. Why not just stand on it? It's what you're promoting and preaching. You want people to send you a 10th part of their money. Why not promote the sex cult, the oh, I'm a God type status? And if you don't have this level of melanin in your skin, you can't even come over here anyway. Why lie to these people? Why lie about what you're doing? He had them all thinking that this was a TV show.
A lot of people have been paid off.
You can't.
Everything he did, he was greasing somebody's hands. Like, he was so ingrained, the local police was in bed with him.
Yep.
Like, he wasn't lying when he told y'all when the police came there and did that check. He wasn't lying when he said there was offering him land and stuff like that. So after that meeting, we slept at our hotel, and the next day we decided to get up and go in town and go to the police. It was really rude when we walked in, and because Bishop, that's Bishop, man, that's Bishop. What the fuck he coming here for Bishop for? You know, what's going on?
Pops will file an in-person police report demanding an investigation into Nature Boy, alleging physical abuse, prostitution, and possibly human trafficking. Just 9 days after he got back home to the States, the house in Palenque would get another visit from the authorities, but this time will be a lot more forceful.
Breaking news, the Reptilians compound, Eligio Bishop, Nature Not, his compound has been raided. Women and children have been removed. A big up to Mr. Marquez, which is Velvet's father. He has to do with this. Phenomenal work. Good job to Fundifi's been Fundifi's been behind the scenes doing her ancestral, wonderful what we call Jongage.
Pop said that they took all of Carbonation's phones and computers for evidence. They took all of Carbonation's phones and computers for evidence. Ooh, shit done got real. Okay. Shit done got real.
Ooh, child. Y'all, that's it right there.
Previously on the rise and fall of
hold on. I meant to make sure I go back. That was it. Y'all, that was episode 15 and 16. Y'all see these, man, it gets good. So now that the Palenque, the police department there in Mexico, did a whole raid, we'll pick up with episode 17 in the next watch party and see this raid go down. Okay, this is before he comes back to the States. This is before he comes back to the States. They have a raid in Mexico. As all cult leaders should go down, just that way. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're going into an hour 52 minutes. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button. Y'all, these cult, man, this cult stuff is out of control. But these series were well done, well researched, and well crafted. Hood Horrors YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check out Hood Horrors. There are 46 episodes total in this series, and they do not disappoint. And we're gonna check out the next 2 episodes in the watch party and see this raid go down, and we'll start seeing this transition from him going from Mexico, coming back to the States, to Decatur, Georgia, and that is where it is the end for him. And so you guys make sure you have a great evening. Check out the live that's going to happen at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Uncle Mo TV. We're going to be checking out the interview with Umar that he did on the Danza Project, that little softball nonsense, and have a good time with that. So see y'all in the next one. And until this next live, you guys take care. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.